Well, wow! It is 2022, the ultimate greenhouse update. Yay! I'm so excited because I've learned something. 2020 was my first time to plant up, a fairly small garden. And I bought all starters. Lots of my friends, they grow from seed. And so 2021, I was going to grow from seed. But I didn't know all the rules. I didn't know all the things. I just went and bought lights, went and bought seeds, went and bought starter trays, and set it all up, and then began to plant. So the great thing is that I was recording all of my videos and I was posting them on this little private group of friends and family called Farmer Mo Adventures. And when I look back at some of those videos, wow, I had leggy plants that were about that big. It was just amazing. I didn't know about labeling properly. That was another important thing. So when I had put the little sticks in to all my starting trays, well, just circumstances, things got moved around. So then as they're growing, I have no idea what they were. So, I'd be on the phone or emailing or texting friends and saying, okay, what is it that I've done? What did I do wrong? Number one, you need to write down, you need to label. Number two, when you first start your plants under the grow lights, there shouldn't be this much space. And you need to have your grow lights on close. So this year, yay, it's looking really good. Come and see. At my trays, you can see that's where I had the lights last year, but the trays were on the bottom and they actually needed to be closer. And so, this is just a freezer basket, and these were trays that I was using last year. And so, I just rigged up whatever I could, wood and cooking rack, just so that I could keep them up close to the lights so that they are going to have that feeling of sunshine. Lesson learned. Another thing that I learned was about your soil, that you should actually start with a seed starting soil and not just general soil. And then also that once they are planted up, that you should also have a little bit of extra fertilizer inside of the soil as well. So as I've been transplanting up, I've got an organic fertilizer that I make myself. It's a granulated, and I just mix it into the soil, and it's a slow release. So it's going to feed the microbes that are in my soil and help my plants just to get bigger and stronger. Ooh, I still have kind of overplanted as well. So the icebox doll babies, I planted 8, hoping that, I would get 3. So now I've got 8. They all germinated. So I planted them all. And when you look at my Big Max pumpkins, I'm not sure how many I have of those, but there is quite a few of those as well. It was really worth it for me to videotape last year so that I could just see where I went wrong. One of the things that I'm using on my starter trays is I'm using green painter's tape, because it comes off really, really easy and it's very identifiable. I can see from a distance, it's nice and bright, so which is great. But it just feels so good to have come up against something like not having a clue on starting from seed. And I didn't fail completely at it, because we still pulled 300 pounds of food out of our gardens. So it's like they were still successful, but I'm really looking forward to having really good, strong plants. Growing table here, we got these new disco lights. My kids use them a lot. The multiple color is supposed to help with the plants. And then my daughter had these these ones, which are really bright. But with this table being, you know, so big, I wasn't able to hang them. So I've got this my roll bar going across and everything's hanging from it. So what we are going to do is we are going to construct something that we can have that's going to go over and go at different levels so that I can have the grow lights a little closer. Because here still, like with these ones, they're still a little bit far away for my liking. Am I planting too early? Yes, still I'm planting way too early. But I did get this great little Clyde's garden planner. One of my kids won it on, I think, TikTok last year. And so this is a great little planner. It works for the spring and for the fall on both sides, which is really great. But once you know what your last frost date is, I know mine is about April 19th, and then it tells me when I can be starting seeds indoors or direct planting outside. So being that it's March, I can actually get the onions out and some peas. I can plant them, probably in the next week. So very exciting to have this planner. So another little thing that I learned last year is seeds that you shouldn't plant indoors. Last year when I was still teaching, and so this is a studio greenhouse, and so my students were having to share the studio with all the plants that I had been building up. And I planted beans. I planted a few other things that you shouldn't. Like I was actually picking beans before they went outside, which I think I might have put them out in May. Like up on the curtain rod, the beans were cascading, and I just didn't know. I had no idea that you're supposed to direct sow your beans and they'll grow just fine. Actually, I didn't know that if you put your beans into damp paper towel and just let it kind of germinate, then you get yourself a little sprout. We just pop that into the ground and it's like wham bam, it's already growing, which is fantastic. So there's a few things that I've learned that Maureen, wait, plant it outside, it'll be just fine, because some things don't want to transplant. So I also learned that you don't plant a variety of corn because the corn won't germinate. So those are some really great little tips that I have kind of picked up. Being in Victoria, like I said, we do get to plant early. So I'm hoping that the Su Choy and the Pak Choy will be ready to go out in the next couple of weeks. They're still kind of small. There is a few big ones coming, so it's really, really great. Yay! We're growing, it's growing season! Woo! Oh, and by the way, if you're in the Victoria area and you would like some plants, just send me a message and I'll get you some plants. Thanks for joining in.